Hi, this is Simon Holden, the Sheriff of Tippingham for Talking Punting. No countdown needed here. It's the end of a very long week, but an exciting day of sport as the Irish turf season starts today with a meeting at the Curragh. We have a free selection for you there. Plus, it's Cup final day. Newcastle take on Liverpool in the final at Wembley, and currently half of Newcastle is in the West End, probably after a great night last night. It's probably still going on at 8:15 at time of recording, so we'll cover that. Yesterday, sadly, Everton drew 1-1. Fine margins just before half-time. Beto went down rather dramatically, and of course he was likely to take the penalty. We had him as first goal scorer, and it looked like the penalty was going to be given, but it didn't after a long inspection by VAR and the ref going over to the side. Never a good sign when the ref goes over to the side of the pitch, of course. Now, this cost me and us money, but I have to say, in the bigger picture, I think he got what he deserved better. If he'd just gone down, I think they'd have got a penalty. But this ludicrous, theatrical dive, I think, kind of annoyed the VAR guy and annoyed the ref. And really, they should have booked him. So it hurt me, hurt us. But I suppose in the wider scheme of things, it just got down. Less of the dramatic diving. They equalised late on. But sadly, those bets were down. Of course, you get the penalty. He takes it. We've won a lot. We've cashed on that. And Everton may have gone on, but it did not happen down to his theatrics. So there's a wider lesson there. Now we've got a football bet coming up as the other side of Merseyside take a cup final in the Caribou Cup final. But first, the first race of the entire Irish season. We're going to go there. It's a fascinating race where nothing's run, obviously. 2-year-old maiden, 5 furlongs, Castle Star at Capital Stud. Now, Adrian Murray has won the last 2 runnings of this, and he runs Power Blue, which is now 6-4. Now, in the wider scheme of things, if you're going to start backing unraced horses in an unraced horse field at 6-4 because the trainer's won the last couple of run-ins, good luck with that. But I think the market has completely found that. Looks a speedy type, looks an early season type. Can't argue with a guy's record, may well win. But at 6-4, not for me. Now, Jim Bolger, he last won this in 2021. And he runs a fascinating contender here in Slaney View. Now, Slaney View is by Mayor Mass, who's standing at something like 70 grand a pop, and another word for pop, and is 7-2 here. There's been some interesting money for this. Looks a very, very well-bred type. He's won this before with a filly. He has success in this, and this is available at 7-2 with William Hill and Betfred. Short as 3-1 in a place, and I think this can give Power Blue plenty to think about. And I think it's a very well-bred type. Very interesting that he brings this here, a race he has won with a filly before in 2021. We know Jim Bolger is as wily as they come. Be very interesting to see how these Mare Mice early 2-year-olds go. And at 7-2, I think there's a bit of value there. So we're going to take on the favourite, 7-2 Slaney View at the Curragh. Now, let's go to Wembley. It is the Caribou Cup final. Kicks off at 4:30. And the 4-1 on Newcastle that was there early in the week is now gone. But you can get 19-5 with AKA bets, or you can get 7-2 with Paddy Power, William Hill, Ladbrokes, Bet Victor, and Betfred. So Newcastle in a one-off game, I think there is still a bit of value at 7-2. And I'm going to do 2 singles on that and Slaney View and a very tiny double. They have a lot of attacking midfielders. I think in a one-off game, Newcastle can really threaten anybody. And Liverpool now out of the Champions League, and their recent league games, they've shown a lot of, I think, fatigue. Now, let me be very clear. The league title, as far as I'm concerned, they've got 1 0.999 hands on it. So that is one. But I don't think they're the aggressive force that they were a couple of months ago. And add to that, this is one of the biggest games in Newcastle's recent history. It is the biggest game in Newcastle's recent history. And I'm sure that they will be so motivated. They've got, like I say, attacking midfielders. They've got a striker who, is in the form of his life. And I'm going to bring up that. I'm going to do Newcastle at 7-2. See if we can get the AK bet. And I think Alexander Isak to score at any time is not a bad bet. Now I'm going to try and get a price for that. But what I've seen is around... that's not coming up on odds checker. So I have done that bet. I did it at around 2-1 to score at any time. You could have a look at that, or we could just simplify it, not do any other prop bets. And if you're not on that one, well, you're not going to do the first goal scorer market. We've got a nice price in Newcastle. Let's just stick to that. But that's the other one I did earlier in the week at around 2-1. Isak to score at any time. But I'm not going to complicate it. And also it's not coming up. So 7-2 Newcastle to win in 90 minutes. I think is fair value. I really, really do. And we've got Slaney View taking on the hot pot with a wily Jim Bolger. Very well-bred horse in a race he has won before. The recency of bias of the guy who's just won the last two has forced that one into 6-4. We're getting 7-2 on Jim Bolger's Slaney View. So I'll be back tomorrow evening with a review of last week, Cheltenham week, on here and off, and see how we've done. It's been a week of triumph and disaster, I think, for everyone. Everybody's got hard luck stories, but we'll go through the triumphs as well. Have a great Sunday. Great sport. Irish turf racing is back. And it's cup final day. And then tonight you got the last round of the players. Could you leave the house? You could do, I suppose. Don't think I'll bother.
Holding horses.